Good morning and welcome everyone. Great to see you. Welcome to our 13th Community Day and our first Community Day back in Duisburg, Germany. And by the way, who of you were already here in Duisburg 2018, 2019? Please raise your hand. Oh yeah, that's a lot. Welcome back. So this place, this environment, I have to say, look, I really love this environment. Over 100 years of history were written here. More than 37 million tons of steel and iron were produced and shipped. So for me, this is the kind of symbol, this whole area here is the kind of symbol for Germany's critical role in the global economy and in the industrial revolution, right? And today, we, the Shopware community, gets together and we talk about software and the e-commerce revolution for sure. And I can see so many familiar faces here. What is great, but also new faces. Welcome. So I have a promise for you today. So we're going to demonstrate, let's say over the roughly next 60 minutes, we're going to demonstrate how Shopware is providing new tools to first dramatically increase your efficiency, as well as to provide new building blocks to deliver next-generation shopping experiences. So we have a lot of things with us today, and I hope you can take advantage out of it. This day, this great Shopware community allows any one of us to learn from each other, inspire each other, to collaborate. And I think real innovation can only exist where people come together. Like we today, where people come together to collaborate, to inspire. So I'm going to show you today a kind of this magic, what happens when people come together, some examples. And in the last 3 years, we tripled our amount of community members. What is great? I mean, especially outside Germany, we grow faster than ever before. So Shopware Community is nowadays really an international one and global one. Here's some pictures right from the US, where also the community is constantly growing and growing. And I couldn't be more excited about the future in the US. As you might know, we started with our first hire, Ben Marks, then our general manager, Jason Nyhus, and now we're over 20 people, a team of over 20 people dedicated to the US market. And I have to say, the team is on fire and the community there is on fire. We're getting a lot of momentum there. And you can see it here in the pictures. Stefan and I, we were there together with the team and experienced all the different trade shows and events and so on. And it reminds me a little bit on the early days as we started Shopware. Back in the day, it was in Germany. Maybe some of you can remember. Is someone here in the audience who were at the CeBIT event in Germany? Please raise your hand. Oh, that's a few, right? As we started in the CeBIT, it makes so much fun to present the product, the vision, the impact Shopware can have. But for me, what is even more impressive to see is how engaging you are, how active the Shopware community is. So it's very, very cool. And I mean, you are organizing so many events all during the year. So it's not only this single community day, you can experience Shopware events the whole year. So for example, we have all the developer events here. For example, yesterday and the day before, the hackathons, we have unconferences, we have the boost days. And it's really impressive to see. We have overlapping events from other open source communities where we're also contributing in, like the Symphony World. We have all the different meetups in the different cities. We have the great Shopware United, who is organizing events for particular, trending topics all across Europe, executive dinners, advisory events, and so much more. I mean, it's so cool to see what you do. And therefore, I just want to take a moment to give you the credit on behalf of the whole Shopware crew. This is thanks to you. We love community. We are a community. Thank you very much. All right, I think you guys rock. You built all these, beautiful looking shopping worlds, experiences. And it's really cool to see that today's customers span every industry, category, geography, and so many different use cases. And as the community is evolving and evolving, new kind of solutions become possible. So I have some examples here. You can see, it's Fleurop. And Fleurop is the world's largest flower distributor, and by the way, also with over 100 years of history, like this whole area here. And you can order your bouquet very conveniently and super smart online, and then you get it shipped by your local florist, for example, around your corner, right? And probably some of you here in the room already experienced it at Mother's Day, where Fleurop had over 4,000 orders per hour. So if you missed that, don't worry. Just go online, order a bouquet, because I think, flowers are always matching. It puts smiles on faces. Believe me, I'm a loyal Fleurop customer. You can ask my wife. So this nice brand, it's a love brand. It's Miss Pompadour. It's so cool. They are, a love brand for all the do-it-yourself enthusiasts for, wall paints, shark paints, varnishes, and all this stuff. And this is a kind of, I would call it a symphony of inspiration. Over 500,000 do-it-yourself enthusiasts engaging, inspiring each other, showing what you can do with their products, how cool these kind of furnitures get painted, or the walls, and so on. So it's really impressive to see. And they were able to expand the reach by further 60% as they migrated to Shopware. Well, it's really cool. We have Coffee Bee and Coffee Royale, two famous brands that are part of the Delica AG, what is part of the subsidiary of the Migros Group. And they revolutionized the industry with this little ball here. You can see it, right? Just this little ball. It's made completely out with coffee. So no plastic, no aluminum anymore. And this is really expressive. So it's, for me, a sustainable coffee experience. And as you might imagine, for larger organizations like Delica AG, what is part of Migros, they have to deal, with more complex system landscapes by nature and processes, right? And therefore, we're really proud that they were able to launch the stores in a remarkably swift time frame of only 3 months. This is really fast, to really start and capitalize market opportunity promptly and directly. Yes, and more and more well-known and really cool brands joining the shopper ecosystem and universe. What is also really cool, and they building their global expansion strategy together with us, with the Shopware community. So cool brands like Ubaldi, like Babor, like Harper, BWT, Jacob Electronic, or for example, YT. YT Industries, which stands for Young Talent, is also a really cool mountain bike brand, a love brand. So they have many accolades, the world champions swear on their bikes, and they're a kind of disruptor for their industry. So they're really obsessed about delivering the best value for money. And what is even cool, they now started migrating from Shopware 5 to Shopware 6. And their largest market is already the US market. And now they're going to build the next-gen mountain bike shopping experience together with us. So I'm very excited and can't wait to see the results. So I have to say, I love our customers. I love all these different use cases. And yeah, I could talk hours about it. So question to you, what have all these little, changing pictures you can see right now in common? Guess what? They're all using Shopware? Yes, but that's not my point. I think we can see visionaries and we see builders. We see people who are rethinking the status quo of their industry and their daily doing. We see people who are starting innovating. People who are using an open commerce platform to customize it in the way to build custom shopping experiences and leveraging the eco effect, the network effect of the complete community. All the integrators, partners, developers, manufacturers, merchants, they all come together to build something truly remarkable. So technology, technology brings ease, brings scale and flexibility. And don't get me wrong, I mean, Shopware is a tech company, right? So technology is super important, but I think nowadays technology is becoming more and more commodity. And what really matters are the people who really enabled, the enablement of people who know how to use the product, the technology, that you get grip on the ground, that you can start building and get something out of it. I mean, this is, for me, this is key, and only people can bring innovation, empathy, and creativity into it. So for me, Shopware is an environment where visionaries build and builders dream. Basically, it's only as good as people are bringing in, right? So, and if you put everything aside for just a moment, what would you think? What will remain? I think what remains is human being. It's the human who is interacting with the user interface. And nothing more. For me, it's as simple like that. Because in the end, we're all humans, and it doesn't matter, to be honest, if you have, a B2B business, a B2C business, or a direct-to-consumer case, because in the end, it's the human who is interacting with the user interface, and nothing more. And especially this experience has to become exceptional. That's what we're aiming for, right? To become better than the competition, to be ahead of the game. So, Shopware, and by speaking about Shopware, I mean the community, the ecosystem. Shopware is for people who don't fit in someone else's box, to build the exceptional. And that's what you do. Our customers build exceptional shopping experiences and continuously improve and learn further. So congratulations to you who have built all these amazing experiences you can see here. And I personally strongly believe where people as you, here today and online, come together, the bigger, the better, more innovations will be built by humans. So let's move on. So we have talked about the critical role of the community. We have showcased some amazing customers and clients, and the progress in the US. Now, let's talk about the global e-commerce market. And yes, we are in a growing market, right? And the market will continue to grow, and the predictions are quite good, up to $11.6 trillion by 2030. And as we take a brief look back, the COVID effect for digital commerce was massive in almost every category and industry. But, and of course there's the but, today we are in the post-COVID world where growth rates have slowed down. And everyone here is now heavily facing cost headwinds, right? So in fact, the grow at all cost era is over. The new reality is the increased cost of capital, the increased cost of, talent, of producing goods and services, the increased cost of energy, for example, of marketing, and the list can go on and on. I mean, they all eating away your margins. And due to all these factors, we're now in the age of efficiency, so the winners will be companies that are able to deliver more with less. And to win, to deliver more with less, to increase your efficiency, you have to find a way to handle all these upcoming complexity. The growing parallel complexity that comes by nature at scale. And I'm pretty sure everyone here in the room experienced it so far. Because as you further grow and as you further scale, you have to choose between different options, right? You have multiple payment solutions and options you have to choose from, multiple shipping methods, probably multiple business models at the same time, integrations, warehouses. So the list can go on and on and on. So we have customers who are using Shopware they sometimes have to deal with 28 countries at the same time, integrating 7 different warehouses, 5 different ERP systems, more than 30 customer groups. Yes, it can become complex. This is, for example, the reason why we invented our deep commerce-centric automation features like Flow and Rule Builder, where you can easily, and without writing any single line of code, modelize your digital commerce workflow as you need it. Just set a trigger, like, an order is placed, then you can set an action, and condition it in action. In this example, we send details and call the API in the warehouse software, and everything without coding. But it's not only complexity, right? To deliver more with less, you have to balance complexity and adaptability. The speed of adaptability to the fast-changing shopping behavior is crucial, for sure. So the next digital native ones, the next digital native generations are already here, and they are going to fuel tomorrow's growth. So in fact, Gen Y and Gen Z is close to 60%. It's close to 60% of the world population already today. Think about that. This is impressive for me. So they are the largest percentage of the world population, and they are the largest percentage of the workforce. And they are the ones with the increasing financial assets. And guess what? They prefer to shop online, right? So the challenge for everyone here in the room will be to find a way to, that their expectations, they are, also increasing, to find a way how to handle it. So you have to deal with more channels, you have to deal with more personal offerings, you have to deal with, more individualization opportunities to their own lifestyle, more meaningful. I mean, people need some extraordinary in their life, right? And Gen Z and Y, they won't, they won't settle for basic or typical. They want more, they want better. They are looking for curated, interactive experiences. They were tailored to the needs. And we have today a great breakout session about it, don't miss it, in the afternoon from the Trend Bureau. So the trend is going on and is unstoppable for me. From a study called Voice of Consumer from Euromonitor International, 60% of surveyed people said that they looked for curated experiences that were tailored to their tastes. And the good news is, the building blocks on their expectations are already here today. To make commerce more entertaining and interactive, interesting, to connect with your customers, consumers, shoppers in a meaningful way. Make touch points intentional. Enhance every stage of your customer's journey through interactive and engaging elements, including gamification as reward systems with achievements and incremental benefits, connected retail experiences with value-added services, or spatial, with new VR, AR tryouts to make products, make experiences feel more realistic and natural. Digital storytelling to discover and inspire people, more personal and emotional through video assistant toolings for conversations. So along whatever you and we together can build, our community can build on top of Shopware, I mean, the opportunity to deliver next-gen shopping experiences are already here. And for me, a very good example of adapting to new shopping behavior comes from the B2B industry. Yes, B2B, as I said, it's a human who is interacting with the user interface. So it's this famous brand, Tamaris, where we also have in the afternoon a great talk about. So it's Tamaris from the Wortmann Group. And for me, this is the perfect example of adaptability to shopping behavior and even going beyond that. So they built together with us and with our open ecosystem here a completely new B2B experience, guided shopping. So as you might imagine, Tamaris had a lot of retail stores, up to, I think, 2,000 retailers, 12,000 retailers across Europe. And as a retailer, you might want to know, what is the new collection of Tamaris, what are the trending products, and so on and so on. So nowadays, you can have a curated and personal shopping experience with the virtual shopping session. And it's super, super simple and easy. For example, you can get a message from your contact person of the Wortmann Group. Hey, it's Michelle. Just click the link to access our virtual shopping appointment. And then you click the link and you are connected without installing any app directly from your browser. And you can see each other and interact with each other via camera and voice, what feels very natural and human, right? While you're sitting in your, retail store, and for example, the sales guy is sitting in the office, you can see each other and interact with each other. So the sales guy can now take over and guide you through the new collections and products. And this can he do also very personal and curated because he have all the store data about you and can create a personal curated presentation for you. While you can talk to each other, see each other, ask questions, he can take over the control and then he guides you to the products, show you the details, the stories, and so on. So this is for me really the next-gen shopping experience, human to human, B2B, more personal, more emotional. And it's already available today. So you can check it out, for example, at our Shopware booth, and as I said, in the afternoon in the session of Tamaris. So, that being said, in the age of efficiency, it's crucial how you balance complexity and adaptability. And our job is to support you in the best possible way to reduce your complexity with powerful tools, for example, with our deep commerce automation features like Flow and Rule Builder, and to speed up, to increase your adaptability, to configure, customize customer experiences that go beyond and are tailored and curated to their taste, like our latest innovation, guided shopping. So what will lead to dramatically increase your efficiency, as well as to deliver the next-gen building blocks for shopping experiences. So, let's learn more about it, I would say. And therefore, I'm pleased to hand over right now to our new CPTO, Mark Stanley. He had a breakthrough by leading the engineering teams and shipping SingStar on PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3. And I'm pretty sure some of you here in the room already played SingStar. He was part of, Microsoft HoloLens and building high-performance cloud infrastructures for Microsoft Lift and Education First. So, please join me in warm welcoming and a huge round of applause, Mark Stanley.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'm very excited to be here at my first SCD, and also very excited to be part of the Shopware team. Growing up in Cornwall, in a small fishing village on the far southwestern tip of England, I led a double life. In summer, I would play about on the beaches, surf, muck about in boats, and catch lobster for the visiting tourists. This is me, by the way. In winter, when the nights are dark and the storms would be rolling in, I was found huddled. Oh, thank you. I was found huddled in front of a screen, playing video games. Why games? I was obsessed with the characters, the worlds, the sticky mechanics. Later in life, when I worked for PlayStation and then Xbox, I learned how to make these experiences stick. Because gamers choose to spend days, weeks, and months immersed in the worlds that we create. This is why I'm so excited to be here with Shopware and within the e-commerce space. Shoppers want to have an emotional connection to the things that they buy. They want to feel reasons to come back, to collect them all. Whether it's that camera lens you always wanted or that guitar you know you need, shopping is a natural part of our want to level up. But first, let's talk about reducing complexity and increasing adaptability and what it means to us. First, enablement. What does it mean? Well, to me, it's about pragmatism. Not just doing things for the sake of them because they're fashionable, but really diving in and solving the problems one by one. Ultimately, this is to simplify the things that we do. There is so much complexity around today. Complexity of technology, complexity of terminology. It doesn't need to exist. We invented it as humans, and we can simplify it as humans. Our goal is to simplify our software and our language. Not only does that benefit ourselves, but it also benefits you too. And this leads to scale. We want more shopware in more places, doing more things. That can't happen without simplicity. So to me, enablement equals simplicity. Simplicity of our features and our functions, yet when combined together, do what you need when you need it. So simplicity and scale is at the heart of our values for reducing complexity and increasing adaptability. With that, we're going to take a deeper dive into the powerful automation features either shipped already or shipping soon. This includes B2B Components, adaptive flows, and composable frontends. And with that, I will hand over to Vanessa, who will give us a tour of the B2B Components. Vanessa.
Thank you, Mark. Hi and welcome, everybody, also from my side. I'm so happy to be on stage today to talk about what I dedicated a lot of work into the last previous months. Let me explain to you what exactly we plan. So what are B2B components? How does it fit into the current solution? And also what you can expect from us in 2023 and beyond. With the B2B components, you will have the possibility to easily adapt to market requirements and also speeding up the performance. What we exactly mean by performance here is especially the project performance. So when you're building up a B2B online shop, this should, of course, happen as quick as possible. So we want you to focus on implementing the functionalities that you actually need instead of having to build out functionality you don't need, as it is currently necessary within the B2B suite. But more on that later on. The B2B market is growing rapidly. So Forrester, for example, predicts a market size of $3 trillion in 2027, and this is only the US market. Also, our internal data shows us that the third most common challenge that merchants have is building up a B2B business. So this is sometimes also combined with a B2C business, and overall, it's all about growth optimization. But the growing market is not the only reason why we set a focus here. The B2B business has fundamentally changed over the past years. So if you think back like 10 years ago, the main goal for a B2B merchant was basically being online at all. And this was done by kind of copying the existing purchasing processes that existed offline. And this led to heavy complexity, slow adoption possibilities, and in the end, a not really intuitive customer journey. But nowadays, this main goal has changed. Now we have competition between B2B merchants, and the expectations are not that far away anymore from a B2C business. Therefore, we knew that we had to adapt and also do an inventory about our existing solution. I talked to a lot of you guys in person. We did surveys, we gathered lots of feedback about your current situation, and it was clear that it's better to not offer a package, but components instead. So we will not offer you a menu anymore, but rather an a la carte selection process, so to speak. Now let me give you a quick overview for those of you who are not so familiar with the current solution, the B2B suite, what it includes. So we have sales representative functionality, for example, that is only needed if you have several salespeople in your organization. Or a budget management that you can do in the right and role management. And also this is only necessary if your customers have employees who need approvals for certain purchases. Overall, we have 5 main features here. But breaking up something like the old B2B suite is a huge undertaking. So from a technical standpoint, it made just more sense for us to really start fresh on a framework level here. So what we're doing is we're modeling each component after the functionality that is already there and also enhancing it along the way. The B2B components will have a default interface integrated into Shopware. You can also use it completely headless because we are API first. And as I just mentioned, API first, in case you don't know what that exactly means, it really gives you more flexibility to interact with your system. So, for example, your ERP. The B2B components will work with each distribution form, so may it be SaaS, PaaS, or on-premise. And they will also be integrated natively within the flow builder. So this gives you the possibility to really easily adapt your B2B processes within a tool that Shopware already offers you. Now I will give you a quick preview about the roadmap we plan for the B2B components in 2023. So everything we're going to ship in the next 7 to 6 months. And if any of these pique your interest, I encourage you to join the session later on at 2 p.m., where my colleagues will give you a more detailed overview about the product roadmap. So we will build a budget and right management, a quote management, a sales representative functionality, order lists, quick order options, and an employee management. And what we're currently already working on is the quick ordering options, as you can see in the screenshot here. This is really commonly used amongst merchants to speed up the purchasing process so you don't have to go through all the steps during the shopping journey. And again, if you want to know more, please join the talk later on. Overall, this means that 50% of all features that we're shipping this year are allocated and dedicated to B2B only. And from my opinion, this is only the right consequence to really help you with your growth. And if you think back about the challenges I talked about in the beginning, I think this will really help master yours. Our vision is to really enable tons of different use cases with those components. So imagine a huge manufacturer that sells to different sizes of companies. So this could be a small institution with low order frequencies and low order volumes, or it could also be a large organization with high order volumes and high order frequencies. They both come with completely different purchasing processes. They are different types of customers and also have different levels of complexity. And for all of those use cases, you can just pick and choose the components that you need. So may it be order lists where multiple people can work on simultaneously, or budget setting. For both of those use cases, you probably want to avoid having old PDF quotes where you have outdated prices all the time. And there we will offer smooth quote management. And if you have complex products to explain, you can even use our guided shopping solution on top, which Sebastian just told you before. Now, This is the last slide from my side. If you want, you can take a photo of it because this is really the stuff you should remember from my talk. With the B2B components, you can choose for your project which functionality you need. They will work for each distribution form, so they will be available in the cloud and on-premise. And all of them will be shipped as API first. And lastly, they will be natively integrated into the Flow Builder, so this will help you really build up your B2B processes more flexible. And when talking about the Flow Builder, my colleague Moritz, our Director of Product Discovery here, will now tell you even more about that.
And as Mark already stated, it's all about reducing complexity and speeding up the adaptability. And we shipped a lot of added values in the last years for our Flow Builder to make sure that you can adapt your business case and it supports you in your daily work, making your work simpler and easier. And that is what we call adaptive flows. With the new adaptive flows, your external system can trigger external systems and can react to stuff happening in Shopware. So you can move some of your API-based integrations to event-based integrations, making sure you're keeping your systems up to date in real time. And the Flow Builder and all its capabilities can reduce your integration costs up to 60% in your projects. So what is an adaptive flow all about? It's quite simple. You can react on a flow that's happening in a different system. So imagine an order management system out of your software landscape as a starting point. For example, an order management system. Your employee updates an order and adds the shipping information to it. This system can then call your shop and starting a flow. For example, you did a shipping update and now you want to send an email to your customers or inform the customers that the products were shipped, doing the status change and so on. And you can now define a custom flow for this event. With the custom events, you can connect your systems and let Shopware react off the events of another system. And also we prepared a short video for that. So let's create an adaptive flow together that will notify customers to review products they bought in your online shop. First, we need to select an event that should trigger the flow. There are a lot of predefined events linked to the customer creation, order management, or even newsletters in Shopware. And basically everything that happens inside Shopware. But today we want to create a custom flow, a flow that is triggered by an external system. For example, your order management system we mentioned before. And therefore I created a custom event. That custom event is triggered by your order management system as soon as the order is marked as shipped in the system. These custom events can be integrated via app system and triggered by calling the shop. Let's select custom company after shipping update for that. And every integration can add various events to the Flow Builder and make sure that you connect these systems from your landscape directly with our flow system. You can then choose between conditions, actions, and delays, and we will start with a condition. I defined a rule for that is checking, for example, if the customer has the tag "Very accepted." And if it's true, we will add a delay to the flow. For example, the delay could be 1 week after the products were shipped. And after that, you need to choose an action. And an action could be something like sending out a customized mail to your customers, making sure that they review your products, or you could call the next system to take over. For example, a review system that you provide with the additional parameters like email and customer number and customer name and so on, and calling the next system to take over. The Flow Builder enables you to connect systems in real time. You can react on events happening in your own system landscape, execute events directly into Shopware, or even trigger the next systems to take over. And to conclude this part, the Flow Builder is a comprehensive real-time automation tool with low-cost capabilities, even enables you to define event-based workflows. And this is natively supported by a wide range of apps from our ecosystem. And when looking at complexity in a project, for sure one of the biggest pitfalls is the storefront part of Shopware, because you want to customize a lot there. And to improve that, we collected a lot of feedback from over 150 PWA projects in the last years. And every insight from these projects, every experience and feedback was collected and reviewed. And this led to a completely new approach, Shopware Composable Frontends. And as mentioned before, reducing complexity and increasing adaptability is one of our major goals. And in the same way, you need to differentiate from your competition by offering a unique storefront experience. So we know that every project has its challenges, and it's often keeping the individualization in balance with the integration efforts. And this often limits also the ability for you to deliver something outstanding. And that is the point where Composable Frontends kicks in, combining fast development with highly customizable storefronts. Shopware Composable Frontends aims to reduce waste and repetitive workflows in your projects by offering pre-built components. And Composable Frontends offers an up to 10 times faster performance while keeping implementation efforts low. And this is also highly reflected in an outstanding Core Web Vitals score. So let's dive in a bit. Composable Frontends decouples the backend from the front end. And this not only helps you when it comes to maintenance or adaptability of the storefront, but also keeps your maintenance costs low. And one of the main advantages from decoupling the backend from the front end is that you don't need to have some Shopware-specific knowledge, and your developers can start with their well-known JavaScript frameworks. And the API client is written in TypeScript and can be used with a wide range of JavaScript frameworks like Vue, React, and many more. For example, our demo store template is written in Nux 3 and Vue.js 3. In addition to all that, we offer a wide range of commerce composables that allow you to customize your storefront with pre-built components. And you can for sure also add your own composables that you create in your project scope or extend our composables. And finally, the template provides you with design examples and themes for implementing those composables. And one of the major advantages of decoupling from the backend is that you have endless possibilities to extend your new storefront. You can use our composables, you can use your own composables that you create during the project, or even connect different services into the storefront without touching the backend application. And this will basically decouple all Shopware-specific knowledge from the front-end domain and will help you to lightspeed your development and time to innovate. And to be honest, our experience shows us that Shopware is not always a single point of truth, and there are a lot of technologies that will enrich the data of the storefront. And therefore, you can connect various services directly into the storefront to make sure you use the best software that suits your needs. And tools like Contentful, Reviews.io, all the things we hear a lot of in projects can be seamlessly integrated into the storefront and to just create a unique shopping experience. So just pick and compose your front-end experience with Shopware Composable Frontends. But now let's check together how it looks like in action. And we are starting with a blank page, and we want to create a detail page. By just adding the image slider from our library of components to the page, we will immediately see the result and can interact with the image slider. The same works for the product name. You can add various product information on the fly directly to the detail page as well. And even the variant selection from our library will also interact with the other components straight away. By changing the color or size of the product, it will also change the color and size of the image. And you can also add additional information like the price and so on, everything that you want to have on your detail page directly to this page. And just by adding an add to cart component, you can instantly buy this product, put it to the cart, and go to the checkout. And finally, also the product description interacts seamlessly with the other components and create a unique experience. And by just these few steps, we created a whole detail page with an add to cart button that you can use in your, for example, in your project. So just start composing your storefront experience with a highly individual storefront. And we are also proud that some of the first projects are already live, showing the extendability, excellent developer experience, and also performance of Shopware Composable Frontends. And we are looking forward to every new project and are eager to see which exciting experiences will be created by all of you with Composable Frontends. And now let's conclude with one slide, the added values of Composable Frontends. You don't need any Shopware-specific knowledge, and your developers can start with their well-known JavaScript frameworks. The operation costs are significantly lower, and it will also increase your developer productivity massively, because you can choose between our pre-built components or customize also components in your project scope. And the decoupling from the backend application of the storefront also provides you with the best at-scale solution for your project. And now I will leave the word to Mark again.
Well done. Thank you, Moritz. And thank you even more for handling it and the unexpected events of Skynet trying to pull the plug. Let's conclude. Our 3 new features, B2B Components, Adaptive Flows, and Composable Frontends, will lead to decreasing complexity and speed up your adaptability. B2B Components are shipping iteratively throughout the year. Adaptive Flows are coming next quarter. And Composable Frontends is already there and ready to use. Now, everybody is talking about AI. It's on the horizon, and it's coming in fast. First, there were mainframes and ticker tape programs. Then there was a PC on every desk. Mobile computers, an app for everything. Big data. Now it's just called data. I don't know what happened to the big. We are beginning to enter the next computing paradigm that will shape our lives for decades to come. Depending on who you talk to, this will either be utopia or dystopia. But really, this is no different than when other technologies first launched. However, I think the reality will be much more pragmatic and nuanced. AI smart algorithms will optimize the corners of our lives by providing organization and execution of annoying manual tasks. They will make our lives easier, more productive, and therefore more creative. This will give us more time to do the things we as humans are good at, solving problems creatively. It's this capacity to adapt to our environment and solve the challenges in front of us that will give us the upper hand in making our businesses and our lives more successful. Why sweat the manual stuff? Let the machines do the work. For Shopware, it is already helping us improve our development turnaround, and it will, in turn, help you become more effective in running your stores. Who here is already using AI in some way as part of their business? Hands up. Well, I'd say probably maybe 30%. Well, if I'd asked that question last year, or maybe 2 or 3 years before, I think the number would have been lower. And I bet if I ask that question next year, and the year after that, it will only increase. As already stated earlier by Sebastian, we see and feel constant change in human behavior. AI will impact shoppers, and for you too, as merchant business owners. Our goal with AI at Shopware is to create super shoppers through a new age of personalization and stickiness. Want to highlight that top trending sale? Uncover rare items that are booming in price. Or maybe there are communities that exchange and resell. Creating sticky shopper experiences is key, and in turn, it will create super merchants. Driving efficiency by utilizing the behavior of our super shoppers will enable you, as merchants, to get the best of your stores. It's all about efficiency. Things that would normally take hours, if not days, of work can now be accomplished by machines in seconds. This was generated by AI. Let it work for you, how you want it. Go solve the other problems and stand on the shoulders of giants. Now, everyone is talking about it with some wild predictions. Don't worry, I'm not going to go through every graph. But the point here is obvious. It will lead to more optimization of manual work, and it will help you run better stores. What's trending and hot? How to restock with minimal interruptions. What's not selling? And how to target certain customer groups with timed, smart campaigns. The possibilities are endless. But enough of that. Enough of the hyperbole. Let's now talk about something much more concrete. Something that we're very excited about here at Shopware. Introducing AI Copilot, our newest native suite of features joined together under one umbrella. AI Copilot will show up throughout the product. It's something that we're adding to constantly. Shopware has an AI-first mindset, and new AI innovations will come to Copilot throughout the months and years to come. Wherever you see the Copilot sparkles in the administration, that means it's a Copilot feature. It's always opt-in. You can try it out, see how it works, and if you like it, you can accept it into the flow. Let's take a look at some examples. Content, content, content is king, as they say. Generative AI is a big topic right now. In fact, we have a panel discussion about it later, so please come along. Putting something together in your storefront, using the content management functionality in Shopware, you can now use Copilot to help you out. Let's take a look. Here you can see Copilot has written a new content summary based on what you've asked it to do. We're starting off with text-based content, but you can easily imagine how this can be expanded to other forms in the future. Everybody wants to query their Shopware datasets. Don't know SQL? No problem. Let Copilot do the work. Simply enter your query using natural language, and Copilot will do the legwork and turn it into SQL and return your results. This democratizes who can access the data and thus increases your adaptability. This is just a teaser. We have 8 Copilot features shipping. It's our new AI foundation that we will be building on in the future. Please attend the product presentation, 2 p.m. today, to see them all in detail. So together, with what we have already introduced, this is the start of Shopware AI Copilot's journey. We believe the way we use data and content with AI will reshape e-commerce, and we are excited to be part of this development. But before I come to an end, we cannot do it alone. We need your help to understand if our ideas are matching what you need. But most importantly, this is real. And the best thing is, it launched today for our SaaS cloud customers. That's it from me. Over to you, Sebastian.
All right. Thank you, Mark. I have to say, I'm excited to see how you leverage the potential out of AI Copilot. Cool. I think this was a great run-through on what we're working on and what we're going to deliver soon. So I hope you can take advantage out of it today. To recap, all new features all new capabilities are mapped to reduce your complexity and to increase your adaptability. 50% of new features we ship this year are allocated to B2B, with our new B2B components and more advanced functionalities. Adaptive flows will allow you that your tools can trigger our Shopware automation engine in real time. And with the new Composable Frontends, you're able to build laser-fast custom front ends to your tailored needs of the customers. And this by reducing the maintenance cost, everything at scale. And I would say AI Copilot will give you time back with just a simple click. So at Shopware, we're focused on making you more efficient, and we're focusing on delivering the next-gen shopping experiences. On behalf of the whole Shopware crew, enjoy the Shopware Community Day. Let's get into exchange. Thank you.